All right, this is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the Boxing Debate Arena. Welcome people in the chat. Jamie Raiden, Antalis, Paracua, Dark Hado, Team Batman Boxing, who was Frank Bay, War Speed, Mario Lopez, Mario Ponce, Body Love, Mars Decker. Okay, guys, thank you for being on the show. All right, we're going to talk about a lot of things today. We're going to be talking about what happened Saturday, 2 cards from Saturday. So that was the Chris Eubank card, the Eubank Benn rematch, and the other card, which was at night here in North America. Jesus Christ, I need to wake up here. Which was the Espinosa fight. And we're also going to be talking about the breaking news. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, December 16th. Can you believe that, guys? I don't think I think there's some shenanigans going on. But anyways, let's bring in the panel here. We have Mr. BDA. BDA, can you hear me? Oh, boy.
I can hear you.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was muted, so you couldn't hear me. I just told people what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be starting... Whistle for Recognize. Welcome to the show. We're going to talk about, first of all, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn, the rematch. Conor Benn won by unanimous decision. It was a completely one-sided fight. It wasn't even entertaining, my opinion. I think in everybody's opinion. It was a boring-ass fight. So, what your thoughts, BDA?
Well, boxing is back. These last 3 weeks, we've had some good events, something to keep us going. We're riding this wave. And like you said, the Eubank Benn card, I mean, we talked about it on Fight Week that it was a good card, not pay-per-view, but it was a good card. And I think it delivered. Yeah, that, like you said, the main event was sort of subpar, except for the last round. I will say this, right off the bat, Chris Eubank Jr., he was affected by that weight cut, that dehydration clause that he had. I mean, it was obvious, man, because usually, look, Conor Benn, let's start with Conor Benn. He did some good things well in there compared to the first fight. He wasn't as wild. He worked his way on towards the inside a little bit more. He inched his way in. He wasn't just, waiting from the outside like he was in the first fight. So he tightened that up a little bit more. Also, whenever he would come in and Chris Eubank would look to just smother him. And Chris Eubank too, by the way, Chris Eubank Jr. with the clenching. I mean, my goodness gracious, something has to be done about this clinching, because there were times where he was on the corner. He would not throw a punch. He would feint and like that, like a football NFL lunge to get to a clinch. But Conor Benn would take a little step back and just whack him with an overhand right. So there was some good from Conor Benn, but at the same time, I can't in good conscience look at Chris Eubank Jr. and go, yeah, that's the same guy. That's the same guy from a couple of years ago. He's fighting at a weight class that he shouldn't be at. He's got a dehydration clause. And, some people could say, oh, well, other people, how can Devin Haney do it? Well, it's easier to do A, when you're younger, B, when you got those special supplements with you, and number 3, there's no dehydration clause with Devin Haney. He can do it. He weighs in the morning, then he got the so-called ceremonial weigh-in, but in between, he's got about 36 hours to rehydrate. And we're going to talk about Devin Haney maybe later on the week, because now he just came out and said, I'm not a weight bully. I'm not a weight bully. It's like, all right. But as it pertains to Chris Eubank Jr., he was, listen, Pucho, I think you said it yourself too. It's like from the first bell, from the first round on, he looked shaky. And I expected him to stick and move in the first fight. But then he ended up staying still. I think maybe he realized too, like, fuck, I can't move for 12 rounds with the legs I got right now. But in this one, he could. So, and at some point I was thinking, okay, is he going to go for it? Never. He rarely, I mean, every once in a while he would fire a double right hand or something, but it was just, he looked compromised in there from the dehydration clause. So I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, for Conor Benn, I guess this is good for his ego. Both guys made some money. But yeah, like I said, Chris Eubank Jr., I don't even know what he was thinking going in there.
I don't know what happened to the guy. Yeah, somebody got to do something. Yeah.
Exactly. He couldn't, because even in the first fight, he was getting the best out of Conor Benn on the inside. Even in the last round, after the hard-fought battle, he was still able to win the 12th round against Conor Benn. This time, however, he wasn't there. He was never going to be there. And it was just, I guess, like other people say, well, he made the decision to do that, so you can't really feel too bad for him. And I don't feel bad for him. I'm just pointing out the fact that I think this time the weight cut really took a toll on him. As for Conor Benn, who knows what's next for the dude? I mean, I would suggest he try to make welterweight, and if he can't, he's in trouble at junior middleweight, man. Because some of those dudes there, like Murtazaliev, they're 6 feet tall. They're just as strong as stronger than he is. They're just as tenacious. So his whole game is he's a Wolverine. You know, he's gonna jump on you and just maul you. I don't know if that's gonna work. I mean, let's remember what happened to Ricky Hatton when he was at 140. Things worked out for him with his physicality and his style. Once he moved to 147, all of a sudden it was easier to push him around. His punches weren't as hard. So I think Conor Benn should really think about staying at 147 if he can still make it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Organize.
Yeah, it goes to show you that when there's a catch weight and there's the guy that's coming up always has usually has the advantage for the guy who's going down, and then there's a rehydration clause. I don't know what the rehydration clause was. Does anybody know what the
it was 10 pounds?
Okay, so 170, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably been coming over that in fights for probably years, right? Because I know he fought at 168, and maybe he was rehydrating 180 plus, and so for him to be having to watch his weight coming at 170 on the night of the fight, that gives him a disadvantage. Chris Eubank, he's a very flawed fighter though too. At the same time, so you take that into consideration. You take that he's not at his best. He doesn't have his best weapons, or strength, and of course he's gonna lose. I mean, yeah, Conor Benn definitely made some adjustments compared to the first fight. But it's like BDA said, it's hard to give him too much credit when a guy, it appears that, the weight might have affected him.
Yeah. And you guys want to hear what Eubank Jr. said after the fight in the press conference? He says, when referring to Benn, he's like, well, he did everything he was asked of him. Congratulations to him. He didn't want to say that something was wrong in the ring. He's like, you guys saw what I was in there. I don't know what the fuck that means. You guys saw what I was in there. And then he's like, I tried hard to find something, but it wasn't there. Conor was a strong and fast. Conor was strong and fast. And then they asked him, are you done with the sport of boxing? He's like, we're not going to talk about that. And then he moved on to another question. Do you want a trilogy? He's like, I'm not currently in the proper state of mind. I need to heal and deal with what I'm dealing with.
That's fair. After a loss, after a hard fought fight where you got your ass beat, that's fair.
And by the way, if you look at the CompuBox numbers, I think he landed something like 80 shots out of 362 or something like that. I mean, those were paltry numbers for at middleweight. I mean, I know at middleweight usually guys like 500 or something like that, but 382, a lot of moving, a lot of clinching. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was thinking. But Bucho, you said that maybe that he didn't want to blame the dehydration clause. I suspect in the coming weeks we might see something to that. What do you think? You think we're going to start hearing something from Chris Eubank?
Yeah, I think we're going to start hearing the reasons as to why he didn't fight the way he fought in the first fight. Probably going to start saying that he was trying to cut weight. And that affected him. He doesn't want to say it right now because he doesn't want to act like a sort of loser, or make excuses. So, but, the reasons are going to come out later on.
Yeah, they got to justify the rubber match. But again, it's difficult to see people buying it, even with the excuse, which, let's say they really want to do that rubber match. They would come out with an excuse or something to sell it. But, I mean, even with that excuse being heard, would people really want to see a rubber match? Considering how one-sided the second fight was. I know that the UK guys, they'll watch it. They watch both of them. And, in the UK, they're fervent boxing fans. But I don't think even they would show up in the masses of droves that they showed up to in the first two fights for a third fight. They would have to sell it upon something. And I don't know if they have that with this bout.
Well, I mean, they could try and sell it again. By the way, I don't think we're going to have it because I'm going to tell you what Benn said. Conor Benn said, I showed that I can box with the bigger man. Is that true, BDA? What do you think about that? I mean, did he actually show us something new? Did he show us that He's a better boxer now. Do you give him credit for fighting a bigger guy and beating him?
Well, I mean, he did, like I said, he did make some technical adjustments in there. But again, I have to, whenever there's a dehydration clause, I walk away wondering, well, what if? What if there hadn't been one? I mean, they put it in there for a reason because they don't want to fight the guy 100%. And listen, I agree. Like, if you don't want to fight big guys that are at their best, or because they're too dangerous, rather, well, don't fight them. But this whole thing of handicapping them, I mean, it's the same. It's not the same thing, obviously, but it's the same concept of, well, why not force a guy to pay him extra dollars to say, hey, you can't jab or you can't throw the right hand? Because, I mean, it's something similar. Is that you're handicapping a guy is what I'm saying. And, people, but it's more acceptable to do it because, well, it's a bigger guy and he's the one that's accepting it. So therefore, nowadays with the weight issues, they're all convoluted. So people have an easier time swallowing that pill. But Conor Benn, whether he proved that he was the better man, hey, listen, he made some adjustments in this fight. You got to give him credit for that. But I really don't, other than the fact that this made money for him and that it attracted attention in the UK, from a pound for pound perspective, I don't know if it does much for him.
Yeah, I don't think it does, but we'll see. I mean, I'll tell you what Eddie Hearn said after that related to what you're saying. He also said winning the WBC welterweight title is his main goal because he says it's the same belt my father won. Yeah, well, there's a WBC at 154, but he's talking about a WBC at 147. He's obsessed with that one, and we know why. It's because Mario Barrios has the WBC welterweight title. And so what do you think about that? He's not the only guy. Al Bernstein posted a tweet to the post on X today. He was saying like there's 12 guys, almost around 12 guys calling out Mario Barrios. What do you think about that?
Everybody wants Barrios. It's like when Baldomir won the title in 2006 from Zab Judah, and then all of a sudden, De La Hoya, Gatti, Mayweather, Margarito, all these dudes all of a sudden wanted to fight Baldomir. The same thing here with, I overestimated how mediocre. I mean, I hate to use the word mediocre, but yeah, it's Barrios. He's a top 10 guy in the welterweight division, but look at that welterweight division in the state that it's in right now. It's no wonder he can make. So he's a solid boxer, but he's never going to be pound for pound. He's never going to be the best in the division. The fact that a 46-year-old or 47-year-old Pacquiao, with however old he was, they would have outboxed him in that fight. I mean, yeah, man, I no wonder why Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn are looking at their chops, fantasizing about fighting this dude.
Also, wait, what do you think? What are his chances of winning the belt, in your opinion? Or becoming a world champion?
Barrios?
Yeah, Barrios or in general, just in general, him becoming a world champion.
If he can make the weight, if he can make 147, he's got a good chance. I mean, if he can make it comfortable, I should say. Because Barrios, he is there to be hit. He's dangerous with a straight right. And like I say, he's got good skills. He can move and he's got good stamina. But Conor Benn, I think, would manage to outwork him. Maybe even stop him. You never know with Barrios anymore. But yeah, I think Conor Benn has a good chance of beating Barrios. Very good chance. I'd make him the favorite. Not by a lot, but yeah, I think he'd be the favorite.
When I hit him with the right, he says, when I hit him with the right hand and that body shot early on, I knew Eubank was done. Well, I guess he knew. I mean, he knows. He knows Eubank didn't look great in there. I mean, he looked like a zombie, basically. So, yeah, he said that about the fight. And he said, I stayed disciplined. This is what made the difference from the first fight. So the discipline, he kept mentioning that, the discipline. I had this great discipline this time around. His father also mentioned that, the discipline. It was easy work.
Well, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys. Why do you think Eubank didn't choke? Let's say he was wagering. Let's say his legs went there. Why do you guys think, why do you believe that he didn't stand his ground at one point and say, you know what? Let me do what I did in the first fight and really try to outslug this guy.
He couldn't, man. And by the way, Benn looked bigger this time around. So
when you're going against other world athletes, man, and you're a little off, man, it makes a huge difference. It's a big difference. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And so, he was afraid of the power. He did feel that power early on, right hand or whatever, and he's like, oh shit, if I open up, this guy's gonna knock me out. And he did drop him twice at the end, right?
Conor Benn, yeah, he did, and he felt funny too. He felt like a guy who didn't have his legs on him. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he basically had to do everything in his power not to get knocked out at that point. You know?
Right.
It was like clinch, hold. and probably said, "Man, I'm not even going to swing.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
I'm not even going to swing back. I'm just going to try to survive this storm."
Man, if he did that, then he really must have felt that his legs weren't there because he did. I mean, in the first fight, you could tell that he killed himself to make weight and to keep the weight down.
It's the last round too. You got to think about it. It's the last round, so you're already tired even when you're in great shape.
Exactly.
You know, and the fight is the guy you're going up against, the opponent, is turning up the heat right in that 12th round. You're already tired. So you imagine the weight cut, the rehydration clause. You know,
by the way,
it's surprising he didn't get stopped.
He's 36. Right? You know,
36.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a great point. He's 36 years old.
By the way, I like watching Conor Benn fight because he goes for it. He, like I say, he's a Wolverine. He's like 5'8". He looks short also too because the way he sort of crouches when he fights. But I'm curious to see how he looks against a decent body because at this point, look, he went through the gauntlet of fighting guys like Algieri and Van Herdin and Granados, and then he had the whole egg thing going on. Well, he was suspended, and then he fought Conor Benn. I mean, Chris Eubank Jr. twice now. But then again, like we keep saying, Chris Eubank Jr. had a dehydration clause on him, so it's still kind of difficult to gauge where he's at or how good he is. So I want to see him now against a solid contender, whether at 147 or 154.
I'll tell you where he's at, BDA.
What is that, Source?
He's right there, right next to Mario Barrios. They're right on the same level, bro. You know what I mean? If they fought, that would be like the first Eubank and Benn fight. The reason why it's hard, like you're saying about it's hard to gauge how good he is or whatever. I don't think he's very good at all. You know, so that's why this win with Chris Eubanks, you know, the first fight was so good because they did kind of set up Eubanks right, and he set himself up. You know he did. But he also did with he overcame that with effort, right, and it made it a good fight. But he looked sickly the whole time, just like how he did in this fight. You know, he kind of looked like something was off with him, like it fucked him up to make the weight. So all they did with this fight was, okay, well, now we're gonna do it again. We're gonna try to work what didn't work last time. We want it to work this time, and it did. The weight cut killed him, and he couldn't fight like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's kind of a goofy fight, and you know, you needed 2 tries to cheat against this dude. I don't think he's world level at 160. I don't think he's world level at 154. I don't know if he's world level at 147. Let him fight Rolly. You know what I'm saying? But then he can't even make 147, right? Because he takes too much fucking steroids. So he's stuck at 154.
Allegedly.
so people are making fun of Eddie Hearn, how he was talking about Conor Benn after the fight. Like he came back, you know, the comeback and like the guy was suspended for PED use, right? It's not like it's not like Danny Jacobs who had cancer and had to make a comeback. You know what I mean? It's not that type of story.
Yeah, it's not like he was in prison for standing up to his beliefs or something. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, exactly.
Or something, and he comes back. I mean, the guy got caught. His excuse was overeating eggs. I mean, come on. That only pissed people off more because they're like, all right, now that's your excuse? No, not even some, it was in my supplements or whatever. No, it's the eggs. I ate too many eggs. I mean, even with the Canelo meat thing or you know, they get the meat contamination in Mexico, even then they just go, well, it was just contaminated meat. They don't go, I ate too much meat. So yeah, right. Conor Benn, I mean, you got to expect that from Eddie Hearn too. I mean, he's his promoter. He's got something going now.
Radio Rahim asked Conor Benn at the press conference, he asked him a question. He asked him the possibility of a third fight. And Conor Benn said he immediately cut him off. As soon as Radio Rahim didn't even finish a fucking question, and you see fucking Conor Benn jumping on it, I'm done, we're done. I don't know how much longer I don't know how much longer I can make 160. How much money do I need? He's like, for personal reasons, he wants that WBC belt. Forget about the money. He wants that fucking belt. So that's it. So no rematch.
He's making it to be as if he's killing himself to make 160. It's like, hey, I'm the one working hard.
Exactly.
I gotta eat more.
It's true. What the fuck? I can't make yeah.
I mean, come on. Yeah, there's a reason why I haven't seen that many Conor Benn interviews. Again, I just watch him fight. But from what I understand is he really does say some, like when people were pressing him about the PD thing, he would actually get angry at people, interviews and all that. I'm thinking, well, I mean, what do you expect, man? I mean, just defend yourself if you got a good excuse for that. throw it out there, and that's it. But he's actually getting annoyed that people bringing it up. Well, what do you expect? It's like there's something about him, a certain irksome quality.
Yeah, I agree. Shady. And then, they asked Eddie Hearn how close is Conor Benn to a title shot? And then Conor Benn is up there with the big stars now. He filled up a stadium twice already. So he's like, he was saying he's a star. People were calling him out after I'm fucking this up. Sorry, guys. I wrote it in a terrible way here. Eddie Hearn says, people were calling out Conor Benn the first time around when he fought Eubanks Jr. That's how big of a star he is. Then he says, this guy is a star at 147. That is why everyone is calling him out.
I mean, who else who in the United States can sell out a stadium the way he did? I mean, I know he didn't do it alone. It was a Eubank Ben thing, right? The whole name thing. But there's a certain degree of truth to it now. I mean, he's got to be a bigger name now in England than anybody is in the U.S. So
yeah, but he filled out 2 stadiums in the UK because he fought Eubanks Jr. because of his father's name and all that bullshit. You know the story. Him by himself in the United States, does he even sell?
No. But what I'm saying is, at least in the UK now, he's a big name. So obviously Eddie Hearn is going to pad that and use the hyperbole. But what I'm saying is, he's in a better position financially or from a box office standpoint than most Americans. I mean, look at Tank Davis. I'm still in this.
In the UK. Yeah,
that's what I said. Yeah, but I'm surprised that Tank Davis did and Jake Paul did so horribly. I really thought that they were going to do okay, at least at the gate, and he couldn't even do that. So yeah, the UK right now, man, that's it's a hotbed of boxing.
Yeah, if they make Barrios Benn in the UK, I mean, yes, that would definitely sell. He's fighting for a title.
Well, remember Golovkin? He was doing okay in the United States. Well, he started to do very, very well in the United States, whether it was on the East Coast and the West Coast. And then when he fought Kell Brook in England, that was a mega fight over there. It was electric, the atmosphere. So you're right, man. Like if Ennis ever, I don't think it's going to happen, by the way. But let's say you took a guy like Ennis or Virgil Ortiz and put him in there against Conor Benn in England. You better believe they'd fill that motherfucker up. I mean, they did it with Kell Brook Spence. They've done it with Joshua. Who else? Another non-heavyweight UK guy that's managed to fill up arenas just because it's a big fight by itself. Well, I mean, like I said, when Spence went over there, and Kell Brook fought him or Golovkin, those are big fights over there.
Yep.
So yeah, if they send him over somebody, a good fighter his way, world class fighter, and it's for something like a world title or something, and yeah, it's going to do very well in England.
All right, I want you guys to give me your thoughts on some of these posts from X. Oscar De La Hoya says, "Congratulations, Conor Benn. Don't you dare call out Virgil Ortiz." What do you think about that?
Yeah, that would be a good fight. And but I'd have Virgil Ortiz knocking him out.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, of course.
I would go for Virgin Ortiz.
Absolutely.
Virgin Ortiz. But yeah, obviously, man, come on, that's not it's
all right, we got another one from De La Hoya then. He says, Let me give you a tutorial on boxing since you all don't know shit. Eubanks never had a chance due to weight drain. I mean, that's what we talked about. He did look weight drained. Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
they had to do it twice. They had to get him twice to make it work. So
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, basically. We also had Shakur Stevenson coming up with some his thoughts on that UK fight. He says, somebody said, man, Conor would knock you the fuck out. And he replied, I want the same rehydration clause he put on Eubank. Let's see how he likes it. Ha ha ha.
Oh, he's got a point. But, I mean, why is Shakur Stevenson calling out Conor Benn? I mean, somebody else pointed that out, too, that, he never called out Brian Norman or Jerome Ennis, but now that Conor Benn, he said something along the lines of, I'd move up in weight to fight Conor Benn. It's like, why would you? So that's the guy you'd move up to fight for? I mean,
there's so many other fighters right there right now at the division that are like elite fighters that are proven. Right? Because Conor Benn is not proven at welterweight, at any weight, because even at super middleweight, or middleweight, I should say, Eubank Jr. wasn't even a contender at this point. Mm-hmm. So, He lost to Eubank. Now he beat Eubank, who's not even ranked. I mean, he's probably ranked somewhere, but it's not a top middleweight or top super middleweight.
Yeah, I don't even know why Shakur Stevens is in the discussion.
Yeah, forget
it. And if he's going to be fighting Teofimo Lopez, he's got his hands full with that guy.
Yeah. No, he should be calling out. He has Teofimo Lopez who's coming up, and he should be calling out. I don't know, people at 147 that have a belt.
Shakur Stevens has to get off social media, man, because he's going at it. Every time somebody mentions him or something, he has to reply. He has to start barking.
Yeah. He loves the attention. He likes the drama, the YouTube drama, the YTBC drama. Hold on. I'm looking for what we're talking about. Yeah, you. Me. All right, let's go through the undercard from that UK card. The co-main event was Jack Carroll. He defeated I can't even pronounce his name. Isoman. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
The Ass Man. Just call him the Ass Man.
The Ass Man. He defeated the Ass Man in the 11th round by TKO. That was a crazy TKO, man. The guy almost fell out of the ring. So now he's whatever. He didn't win a title, but so that's Jack Carroll. This was a welterweight fight. BDA, your thoughts on Jack Carroll's win and his future? Everybody can jump in, by the way.
Yes, of course. I mean, 147, fucking cat, this cat can scratch a little harder than he used to at 140. You know, El Gato, he can actually go in there and do some damage now. Because Esuman, yeah, he's an older guy. And Josh Taylor, the Josh Taylor he beat obviously wasn't the same Josh Taylor from a while back, but still a strong dude, good straight right hands. And Catterall just picked him apart. I saw some clinching there, didn't like it. I don't, especially against the other opponents. I think Jack Catterall is probably going to do the same thing he was at 140, which is, uneventful type of fights, thinking the joint out. And that's what makes the Catterall performances all the more frustrating. Usually, is that you can tell he's got power on that left hand, but he's intent on just moving around the ring and one punch at a time. So the guy can crack, and he beat this guy up something off. I mean, this dude, he had him bleeding from all over. I mean, he was a bloodbath in there. And Jack Catterall, I mean, this guy, this has to be his best performance so far. Not his best opponent, but his most impressive performance where you look at him, you go, okay, this guy could be dangerous. And at 147, like we were saying, it's a barren wasteland. You never know. He could make something happen there.
Yeah, they were attributing it to, I guess he's with Jerron Ennis's father, Bozo Ennis. So, no, yeah. The guy talks a lot of
I know, I just got to say, no.
Oh, yeah. But see, that's the thing with these guys, man. They say, oh, Catterall's slick, he's this and that. But when he performs like that, they love it. But I thought he looked okay, but against who? I mean, can he beat the top guys at 147? I really don't think so. I think he's limited. I don't think his style is a stand and trade. He's trying, but I can't see him getting against a stronger fighter and trading. You know what I mean? Like a stronger fighter, like a Norman, or even Ryan is stronger than him probably at 147. But yeah, go ahead. But you guys are talking about Eubanks. At least we can end that trainer narrative with Cheeto Bomac. A lot of people had Eubanks winning because he had Cheeto Bomac. And it's like, bro, the trainers don't win fights. So,
was Bomac even saying anything in between rounds? Because I saw some other guy, some Hispanic guy. I don't know who that was.
Well, that's because Bomac can't actually get in the, when you're a trainer, you actually have to get in the ring. He can't do that. Yeah, I mean, think about it. 12 times, up to 12 times, maybe he has to get in between the row. He can't do that. So that's what they get the Hispanic guy always on the outside doing that. But
imagine, BDA, that you have to wait for this dude to get in the ring, and you're in the round. By the time he gets in, the round's already starting again. They're like,
seconds out.
Yeah. At some point, he just falls apart and just crumbles in the ring, and then he ruins the fight. But you know what? It's interesting, though. Frank brought a good point about how there's a lot of people out there, the boxing hipsters, they love the ass style. They love the foot bitches. No, it's boxing. But man, when a guy scores knockouts, there's nothing like it. When a guy is able to actually dominate his opponents and put an exclamation point at the end, I mean, that's what people pay to see, and that's what people pay to tune in to see. So,
go ahead. That's what I'm trying to say is like, they'll see Catterall and you'll say he's boring, he's clinching. They'll be like, no, that's slick. But when he gets the knockout, they're going to confirm my point by telling you, oh, see, he's good. It's like, bro, because that's what you got to do. You got to stand and trade. You got to stand and make your point. Like you can move and box, but eventually you have to fight it out and then add the back foot element.
Well, that's the thing we were talking about that on Sobers yesterday. Is that a lot of fighters make it seem like it's either or. It's like, oh, I'm gonna fight my way because if I fight the way you want to, you guys aren't gonna take care of me financially when I'm all fucked up in the head. And I'm thinking, well, nobody's saying you got to slug it out. Nobody's saying you got to stand in there and trade. You can do that. You can just, James Toney. And okay, James Toney, by the way, he's got brain damage mostly because he sparred more than anything. He didn't do any road work. He was just spar. You can't do that. That's going to fuck you up too. That's an extreme. But you don't have to go to either extreme. You don't have to be a back foot bitch or a come forward face first slugger who takes 3 shots to land 1. You can do something in between. You can do the actual sweet science, which is, what Bam Rodriguez is a sweet science. He uses some skill and power. Another guy, Kazuto Ioka, used to do that too. Stand and trade, but he would bob and weave and really mind his defense. But you can do that. You don't have to fucking go in there and slug. So yeah, you're absolutely right. And by the way, just about the trainer thing. Yeah, listen, there's only so much a trainer can do. And if Chris Eubank Jr. was compromised, I mean, he could have had the best training in the world. It wasn't going to work out. But there's something about the UK and Bomac that doesn't really help out, man. I mean, he's 0-3 in England right now. Remember, Kell Brook beat Amir Khan. Now this, and he also got the gun charge over there, which I don't know what he was thinking, trying to sneak in. What was it? The rumor that he had a gun in a Cheeto bag or something? Whatever it was, I think he should stay away from the Scotland. He did well there with Crawford way back in the day, but
I think it was a Funyuns bag.
I would disagree. Didn't he win a contest at a eating crumpets and shit like that?
Come on. Crumpets. It's a very British, what you call it? Observation right there, man. Reference.
I mean, look, they were just trying to tell us he's the greatest trainer since I don't know, Manny Stewart. They were just trying to pump this guy up as if he's the Einstein of boxing. It's like, come on, bro. Like they were, they want to award him trainer of the every year that Crawford fights, but he's overrated.
Well, I mean, like I said, there's only so much a trainer can do. But yeah, if anybody thought that, hey, I'm picking Eubank because he's got Bomac, that's not a very good reason.
I mean, did they give him trainer of the year when when Crawford beat Spence? Because I don't know. I don't know if I think Crawford would have defeated Spence even without a trainer. Seriously.
I mean, yeah, that's version. Yeah.
She's wailed on the guy, basically. But whatever. All right, let's move on to another fight that we had in that card. It was Adam Azim against Kurt Scooby. They kept calling him Scooby. Like, it was ridiculous. He was so fucking funny. So, Azim remained undefeated.
Are you talking about the gay Obi-Wan cowboy?
Yes, sir. That one, the gay cowboy. Adam Azim remained undefeated by stopping.
No. The other one was the regular gay cowboy. He was like the gay Jedi cowboy.
He had a weird getup. He was
weird, man.
A Jedi robe.
Ever since Turkey got involved, all these costumes have gotten way and way more sus. Is it? Am I tripping, or does it seem like that?
You're not tripping.
Yeah.
Which costume?
Well, like the chaps with T.O. and Barboza, he's taking the queer cowboys. But if
Bootylicious outfits.
I didn't say it, but what comes to mind?
Just be honest, man. They look gay as fuck. Let's be
real. He's a little bit.
Yeah, just throw it out there, man. Yeah.
But if physiques could win a fight, Scobie will win. That tells you a lot about boxing, right? Don't just judge on a guy has muscles or he has, 12-pack like Haney showing. That don't win fights.
Right.
That's boxing. Yeah, that's boxing 101. Then, but some people still need to be told that. But in regards to the fight itself, yes, Kobe did what he had to in the beginning. I mean, you could tell he was just looking to score that one punch knockout. And he was doing what he was supposed to if that was the plan. He was feinting a lot, changing levels, trying to get the taller guy to punch down so he could catch him with an overhand shot. He was moving a lot early on to try, like I said, to frustrate Azim. But then Azim just, Azim did what you're supposed to do against a guy who's just looking to implement that type of plan. He stayed composed. He didn't overcommit. He fired quick straight shots, not necessarily the most powerful ones, but just enough to score the points. And then what I was impressed by with Azim was that he fought 7 rounds from the outside, and then he spent the next 4.5 up until the 12th finding him on the inside. And I remember watching that and thinking, ooh, you're kind of giving him Scobie what you want, training and all that. And he never really got caught with anything huge, to his credit, that managed to hurt him. and he managed to put an exclamation point on it. Like we were saying, people love those stoppages, and Azim is showing you that he can box and he can close the show. Now, one thing I didn't like about this fight was the clinching from both guys. Azim was clinching, but then this was a weird part. Scobie started using his forearm and his head to counter the clinches. Yeah, Scobie. He started using the head and the forearm to counter the clinches, and then the referee warned him, "Hey, don't do that." And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. The other guy's clinching. He's breaking the rules. So shouldn't you be, they always say that you got to do something to counter that. But I would be interested to hear the people who defend the clinching. Would they defend what Azim was doing? Or would they defend Scobie for what he was doing? Because in other words, I remember when Kenny Bayless was talking about David Benavidez complaining about allowing Caleb Plant to clinch. And Kenny Bayless, you picked this up, Butcher. You're the one that picked this up on the interview where he's complaining about David Benavidez. He goes, David Benavidez was very vocal about my performance and allowing Caleb Plant to clinch. But hey, I let David Benavidez get away with some things too. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. So you're admitting that clinching is bad. And then on top of that, you're admitting that as a referee, you weren't enforcing the rules.
You're not applying the rules.
Right. So in other words, Scobie was breaking the rules, but that's because the other guy was breaking them too. But hopefully this is the type of fight that makes people realize that, hey, man, you're not supposed to clinch.
Yeah.
And then going into a position where you got to allow the other guy to break the rules too, so that he can counter the other guys breaking the rules, could turn into a sloppy fight. Thankfully, it didn't happen for this one. But Adam Azim, got to watch out for him, man. He's good.
We should be able to petition these refs to get away from these big fights because they're just ruining them.
I agree.
Yeah, I think
these refs are corrupt because they're put in position so the right guy can win. So it's like when you say, "Oh, we got to do something about the refs," well, then you got to do something about the guy paying the refs.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
So,
but what did you guys think about the stoppage though? Was it a UK stoppage?
Yeah.
Or was it a bit too early? In other words,
the Azim stoppage.
Yeah.
No, Scobie didn't complain. When it's a bad stoppage, a lot of times you'll see a guy who would it have you to do, like try to choke Jay Nady. There's instances where yeah, he did, right? He put his glove to his neck. I think there's been other cases a guy will throw a chair, but they come you can see it, and the guy is outraged. And then some guys they're okay with it. So I think if the fighter
I wasn't okay with it.
But you want to see somebody expire.
No, we want to see. You want to see. You want to see entertainment.
You want to see.
You want to see entertainment.
You want to see him carried out on a stretcher. That's not bad. I understand that, but if the guy doesn't complain,
the oxygen must come out. That's all. I'm not saying
he did come out for that guy, for Asman.
Yeah.
Come on now. We all watch boxing for violence. We either want to see a war or someone get lynched.
Yeah, but when a fight is over, it's simple, over, man. Come on.
Nah, we were watching. His eyes were open and he was breathing. He was still.
Didn't you agree when Kegagi's corner stopped it? Davino, made that guy's face slice meat, and everybody was saying, they need to stop it. Like the trainer kept. I heard the trainer, I guess Marvin Samosio, he said, this your last chance. You can win this. I'm like, bro, why? There was a guy. This guy, I think he's a fraud. I'm just gonna say his name, Breadman Edwards. And he had his fighter, Kyron Davis, against Yoleni Hernandez. And he was telling them that he was winning. In a fight, he got bludgeoned. It was disgusting. So, all
right, well, let's get to that. Rafael Espinosa defeats Arnold Kegai. That fight took place in Mexico, and Espinosa won by TKO in the 11th round. So he retained his WBO featherweight title. Yeah, let's talk about that stoppage. Good stoppage, bad stoppage, and also the performance.
Well, in regards to the stoppage itself, listen, that's the type of beating that kills somebody. It's not the getting knocked out necessarily. Right. It's a long, prolonged, just taking shot after shot, and that they don't wobble you, they don't necessarily hurt you, but your head is snapping back and forward and to the sides. That's that's shaking the brain, and that's what's going to cause a lot of injuries. That's going to cause a hematoma. That's a potential death right there. Credit and kudos to Kegai for standing in there. He didn't even show this type of guts against Joet Gonzalez. I think it was a Joet Gonzalez fight on Pro Box. He was clinching a lot, I believe. He didn't clinch here, man. Maybe because he's had a tall guy in front of him. He thought, listen, if I just land that one overhand right, it's going to change things for me. Maybe that's what the Mimosa, his trainer, thought too, or Momusa, whatever his name is, or Simona. Maybe they thought, hey, listen, actually, I think I heard him say, hey, listen, you can still catch him with that right hand. Just with that overhand right is right there for you. Yeah, it was right there, and he wasn't doing anything. So Espinosa is turning, he's already 31 years old, by the way. He's at his physical peak right now. He doesn't have that much time left. It's not like he's in his 20s or whatever. But he's turning out to be a little bit of what Navarrete was supposed to be. Navarrete sort of slacked in his training, eating Twinkies and getting too heavy. This dude is less awkward, obviously. He's more refined than Navarrete, but the combinations and he doubles up on uppercut. Sometimes he'll double up with the same hand, right uppercut, boom, boom, boom. The body shots, he mixes in things with feints. That's just. I think he's better on the inside as far as tall guys go than Sebastian Fundora. Not that Fundora is a slouch. He really showed improvements in the Team Zoo rematch. But man, Espinosa just put a beating on this dude. Mario Simoli was like, yeah, man, yeah, come on, keep going. You still, like Frank was saying, this is the fight. The fight is still there for you. You can win. I'm thinking it's the 10th round. This guy hasn't won a single round. He's bleeding from the ears, the nose, the eyes. It's like, stop the fight, man. I wouldn't have been surprised if they made him spar the next day. It's like, come on, man, don't be a baby, man. Just get that lactic acid out of your body, man.
That trainer was crazy.
The next day.
No, the trainer was crazy. I want to hear what Amok has to say about this stoppage. Because I was like, you're going to be complaining. Oh, go ahead, Amok.
I don't think I've got to see that fight. Because
Okay.
I was like out and about, during all these fights happening, unfortunately.
Oh, it was UFC as well, I think.
Get him out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. No, but
Okay, I'll be
I
back.
watched if you can watch the fight or the stoppage, because I'm interested in, because you're one of these guys who loves.
Why would you watch MMA
No.
instead of Spinoza? Come on.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm getting fed up with both these sports, boxing and UFC.
I'm getting fed up with you.
Hey, what happened in the UFC with
Yeah,
the
me too,
brawl,
bro.
man? I'm keep looking at this
It
fucking
was
post.
it was like the struggle cuddle Olympics. So
Oh,
Yeah, and then Sobers was blaming that on me. He was trying to pass it off like I'm doing brujeria or something. Nah, man, it's all on the UFC.
I don't know. BDA. Look, I didn't think about it till BDA brought it to my attention. You know what they say about those people that are like constructing society? They have to give you signs. They have to tell you what they're doing subtly before they do it.
That's
Or it's breaking the rules or whatever. So BDA was saying, I don't know how come every time I check out one of these fights, they're always like gay and a hug fest, and then he shows
in
up.
the chat, round one says that UFC was
another one.
boring. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but you know what it is though? That the other common denominator, other than myself showing up, is it's apparently this Dagestani guys. This Dagestani.
Oh, it is. That's what it is.
Yes.
That's what it is.
This
Yeah,
is
what
shit I've
happened-
been
what happened in
complaining
the
for
brawl in
years.
the stands?
That's the real source of the problem.
What happened in
Yeah,
the
the
stands?
Dagestanis, they're fucking boring.
Guys,
Most of
what
them.
happened in the stands? Apparently there was a brawl.
Oh yeah, Dagestani, not Dagestanians. What the
Well, I think Dylan Dennis got jumped. They had like his legs in the air and shit.
Yeah,
Kinda like how
and
Caleb
apparently
Plant was,
Dana White said that he kicked out. What's his name again? Dylan what?
Dylan Dennis.
Yeah, Dylan Dennis, he
Dylan.
kicked him out, but then people are complaining. Well, it was the Muslims who started the whole thing. So, yeah, some backlash.
Oh, and I was gonna say there is some strange favor Dana White's been showing to the Muslims ever since Khabib showed.
Yeah, the
And Turkey, maybe.
Ever since Khabib showed up, and ever since they started working in Abu Dhabi, where they were
Right.
during the COVID times and shit, they got even tighter with.
Maybe the next UFC is
So
going to
it's
start
been
with
like
a
a
prayer.
weird gradual like takeover, like where you're seeing more of these wrestlers from Dagestan, and I don't know, like these styles are getting favored when Dana White has openly said that he hates this style, and he used to actively get rid of these kind of guys in his promotion. What was that dude's John Fitch? He was like undefeated. No, look, he was undefeated, and he had like a 10, 12 fight win streak or something. He loses one time, and Dana White kicks him the fuck out because he didn't like that style.
Well,
So I don't know what's going on now that he's cool with it. He's cool with Islam doing this. He's cool with Chimaev doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, he was also trying to set him up to lose too, if you remember. Fitch, same with Jake Shields.
Yeah. He tried to get these wrestlers beat up. He doesn't like that shit. He knows it kills his bit. He knows it's bad for the audience.
Well, in this MMA thing, it's there was a big brawl there with the Dagestani. I don't know if it was Dagestani or Chechens, but they got into it with
No,
Dylan
it is
Dennis.
always that BDA because if you see the way they act with the other MMA fighters, they're fucking tough as fuck when they're 8 deep, 12 deep with all their butt buddies. You know what I'm saying? With all their little shower homies. And,
Yeah, I know. I was just trying to be.
they'll walk up on dudes and they'll walk up on fighters when they're alone and they'll try to press them and act like they're gonna do something to them, right? And but they're not like that when they're, you know what I'm saying? It's a weird little gang banging shit.
Well, I
that's
remember
going
when
on with
Conor
these fools.
McGregor and his buddies decided to go all hooligan style and storm that bus. Remember when they
Yeah,
were
they
in there?
threw like a
and those
garbage
guys,
Yeah,
can
they get
or
off the
some
bus.
shit.
they pretended like they couldn't get out. Like, no, let us out, let us out. Like, meanwhile, they're holding
No, yeah,
the
they
door there.
didn't get off the bus.
Like, no, I'm kidding. He didn't do that, but what I wanted to say is I heard real quick before we get back to the boxing. But some people were saying like, oh, Dylan Dan is he's a troll. He deserves it. You got to understand that when you run your mouth in real life, there's consequence. I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. He's getting jumped by 10 guys. He's all by himself. I mean, even if he wasn't by himself, by the way, I don't think justifying assault because one guy said something. There's rules and regulations here. You can't just go around beating people up because they say things you dislike. I mean, what are you, a little kid? And that's the other thing
A
that
lot
always
of
gets me.
pseudo tough guys out there.
Yeah, when people go, yeah, well, you shouldn't be willing to take shit from people. Well, guess what? Somebody mouths off to you, you sucker punch him, he goes down, hits his head on the curve. Now you go to jail. Guess what? You're gonna have a whole bunch of people talking shit to you, the guards, the other prisoners, and that's the least of your problems in prison. So I think people should really think.
They're gonna be
twice
watching you
about
taking shit too.
that. Exactly. Yeah, that's what people forget, man. And you got to smell shit too, and a whole bunch of things regarding shit. So yeah, man, it's just ridiculous how some people justify. Well, hey, should not run his mouth.
When
All
keeping
right.
it real goes wrong.
Hey, but with the Spinoza, so Spinoza, he's rated #1 right now, Ring Magazine, the featherweight division, and there's a whole bunch of good fights there. Apparently, for him to be the champ, or for anybody to be the champ, it would have to be. It's between Leo and Espinoza. Angelo Leo is rated #2 by Ring Magazine, so if those two guys fight, it would be for the Ring Magazine championship. Maybe sometimes it's between 1 and 3, so maybe the Ring Magazine would allow Espinoza and Nick Ball, who's rated #3. To fight for the championship. But from what I heard, the last time I did a Friday show, I'd read the news was that it was going to be Nick Ball versus Leo, that they're working on that. Or they might, again, Leo's got a fight coming
Not a
up.
bad fight. I would like to
All
see
those three fights are
Espinoza and Fulton, maybe Bruce Carrington.
Yeah, those are, that's what I'm saying. Sick, loaded,
They're breaking up, BDA.
and Espinoza is going to be a tough nut to crack, man. To
Can't
crack.
hear you,
All
buddy.
those fights are good. How
You
about now?
got
How about
enough.
now? How about now?
Now you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Much
Yeah,
better.
Hey, you
I
can
was
look at the
listening
rankings on your screen, guys. The
I
Ring
know.
Magazine featherweight rankings.
Oh, okay, those. Yeah, but so Leo, like Sober said, Leo Espinosa against any of these guys, that's a good fight. Or even Leo versus Nick Ball. I mean, those ones. Fulton. I don't know what Bernardo Lopez still doing there, but Espinosa's going to be a tough nut to crack, man, because these
Well,
dudes.
Ramirez is there. Robesi Ramirez. I mean,
Did you see what's his name? Lopez get dropped by a fan?
Yeah,
at
man.
some
I mean, come
convention?
on. That was sad to see. The guy's got a brain bleed. I mean, I know I'd like to see violence, but no, when a guy's still suffering the effects of a hematoma. But Espinosa, man, this is going to be a tough nut to crack, man. Extremely tall. He can throw for as long as he goes. He can actually crack. And you know what? This is actually the second or third fight. Yeah, the third fight where he's looked better against an opponent than other guys have. For example, Robesi Ramirez, he'd had a loss early in his career, but he managed to avenge it. Espinosa goes in there, goes to war with him in the first fight, and then makes him quit in the second. Then Espinosa fights Edwin Vasquez. Vasquez gave Joe Cordina hell. A lot of people also had him beating, what's his name? Raymond Ford, 126.
School Raymond Ford.
Yeah, exactly. And meanwhile, Espinosa goes in there and beats the crap out of Vasquez. And now Kagai had given Fulton a very tough fight. He had him hurt pre-pandemic. And against Joel Gonzalez, it was also a competitive fight. Meanwhile, Espinosa goes in there and lays a beating on the guy. So Espinosa at this point, it's 3 fights against, it's against 3 guys. He's looked the best out of anybody. So he's dangerous, man. So hopefully they can make a big fight happen with him before he gets too old.
yep.
Yeah, he should beat Angelo Leo. I think Nick Ball would be his toughest test. Stephen Fulton is
not
fighting
Nick Ball.
Oshaki Foster.
Too little, Mike.
And Bruce Carrington, we really don't know much about him. I mean, he fought that some Sagawa guy and looked awful. What has he really done?
Don't count out Bruce Carrington, bro. Throw him in the deep end. He can swim, bro. Throw him in there with Espinoza. Let's see what happens.
I'm not sold on him. I think he's a lot of talk, a lot of hype. We got to see more. I mean, who's he going to fight? When is he going to fight?
Fuck that. Give him an Espinoza right now.
Give him let Espinoza body him.
I didn't say that.
I mean-
I said just let him get in the ring.
One thing I do want to say too is I've heard some people on Twitter and somebody in the Discord too, just a minority of people saying that, oh, Espinoza's a weight bully. How come you guys don't call him a weight bully? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, you look at Espinoza, he's built like a twig. Same thing as with Sebastian Fundora. Just because you're tall doesn't necessarily mean you're big. In fact, weren't we hearing that about Crawford Canelo or in the build-up to us? Like, oh, just because they're the same size or one guy's taller doesn't necessarily mean that he's bigger. But now all of a sudden, a lot of people do the same thing with Espinoza. And you look at Espinoza, like I said, he's built like a twig. He's built like he's like a twig man, like a drawing that a little kid would make of him. So I've seen guys like Jared Hurd, for example. That's a dude. You look at him. Not only is his upper body strong, but his legs are strong too. Same thing with Devin Haney. You look at these dudes, and they look way bigger than their opponents on fight night. Espinoza, he's just taller. But if you compare bicep size and shoulder size or the calf size, this dude, I mean, again, man, maybe it's just an illusion. Maybe he is a weight bully. But again, what's the evidence? That we don't know the weight, fight night weights.
That's true. We're gonna be talking. I actually want to make a video about that, about weight bullying. What exactly does it mean? Because some people, I think, don't understand it. Again, they think Espinosa is a weight bully, but the guy's skinny as fuck. Then you have some other guys like.
I think the strict definition is, Bernard Hopkins, Floyd Mayweather. They talk about your walk around weight. You should always be within 10 pounds of your fighting weight, because one of the most damaging things to a fighter is Fernando Vargas speaks about it is just blowing up. It kills you. It literally kills you. And these guys, they balloon. They get 3-4 times their size. They look bloated. You can just see look at Ricky Hatton. I think there's pictures of Ricky Hatton walking around at like 200 pounds. I mean, it was disgusting.
Jeez.
Yeah, and I want to, before we get, yeah, go ahead, finish your point.
But you should, ideally, the strict point of weight classes is what your natural weight and build is. That's where you should be fighting. That's the strict definition, in my opinion, of where you should be at.
Yeah,
Them are natural because they got rid of same day weigh-ins and they need to bring them back.
Mm-hmm.
they do. That would change the whole fucking boxing landscape, though. But before we continue, I want to just quickly hear with a super chat from Mars Boxeo. Thank you for your super chat. He says, Top Rank trying to age out Espinosa for their Wakanda Kang Shu Shu. Okay, I don't know what that means. Can somebody break this down? What the fuck is he talking about?
He's saying they're trying to age out Espinosa until he's old and to make him vulnerable for Shushu Carrington to get a win and get a belt off.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, was somebody talking? That was very quiet. I'll go on mute.
I like Espinosa, but I think he's one of those fighters that's gonna get stopped eventually, like Fundora. Like he's there to get hit, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's those thin guys who
he
don't
gets
mind
hit
getting
so
hit.
much. It's actually incredible.
Those guys, those thin guys that like to get hit, it's true. Sometimes they get hit with the punch they least expect, and boom, that's all she wrote. But let's talk about Tom Bragg, man. I mean, I know they're still trying to renegotiate their way towards a long-term deal with a network or whatever, but I think they already see it was going to be Stars, which not necessarily known for their sports programming. Yikes, exactly. Yeah, you're turning Reddit all of a sudden there, Sobers. Yikes. But no, but I mean,
he's pinning his nails.
I've been watching a lot of Scooby-Doo.
No, but seriously, man, what's up with this fight being held on Tubi or being broadcast on Tubi? I mean, I didn't complain. I liked watching it there, the stream. But first of all, it wasn't super HD. I didn't mind that, but I know there's people that are sticklers for that. And I won my 4K the broadcast.
It's because it was free in Mexican television. That's why. And Tubi is Tubi is huge in Mexico, actually.
They need to change that name. That's a terrible name.
Yeah,
I thought Tubi was like BET, where they just do those ghetto hood movies, like the low budget ones.
Yeah.
Tubi.
Somebody was saying they actually got good movies there, but it's still, I mean, it's what's
Tubi
next?
Tubi and chill.
Gangbanger movies.
You want a Tubi and chill?
You want that? That's gotta be the new one, yeah.
I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, to me, it sounds like an adult film website or like off-brand to Fleshlight.
Well, listen, hey, you can Tubi in a lot of different ways, maybe in the future, depending on the product. But yeah, but I mean that whole thing, that card on Tubi was weird to see it on there. But again, I didn't complain, but I just sort of feel
Yeah,
bad a
the
little bit for
Godfather on
tampering.
Tubi.
Well, there you go. But I just kind of feel bad for tampering that they got to be holding fights on Facebook Live,
I don't.
Tubi,
They need to
X
sell
Video.
the
It just,
company.
Instagram
it
Live.
just, it just shows that Bob Arum has his hands off the wheel for a while now, and someone is driving that company into the fucking dirt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
really does
There's
seem weird.
boomers running that shit company, man. I'm telling you.
I don't think it's boomers. I think it's young his young little his son-in-law.
Stepson.
Yeah, but he's a
uh,
boomer man too, or something like I don't know, almost a boomer. But he doesn't know what the
Yeah,
fuck.
he's old.
He
He's
doesn't know.
like 30 something, almost 40.
I thought he
there
was
you go.
older.
Yeah, these
But,
people
on
don't
the other
know
co-
what's happening. They think
Well, look,
Tubi's
they-
good.
They were really trying to put all their eggs on Stevenson, and I mean, it took him a while to realize, man, we gotta let this guy go because Stevenson overpriced himself. And I'm thinking that's the guy that you were trying. Now they're doing okay with
They
Abdullah
have
Mason.
Vargas though, right?
Yeah, they got Vargas, they got Abdullah Mason. Those guys can actually.
That's not
put on a
bad. They
good
got
show.
some good talent.
Jeez.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
I mean, they're still
yes.
they're still good at what they do. I mean, they're getting this guy Zayas easy titles. You know, Keyshawn got a layup title, so they're good at what they do. It's just, I mean,
Oh yeah, I forgot.
you know,
about
we
Davis,
need to
yeah.
see it.
I would say I disagree. If they were really good at what they do, they would always put Snakor in the prelims.
That's a good
That's
point.
funny.
That's a good point. But yeah, man, listen. Speaking of another guy that they had in there, what's his name? Emiliano Vargas.
Yeah, he
He
defeated
had-
Jonathan Montreal by unanimous decision.
Man, that kid
Couldn't get the guy
sucks,
out.
man. That Vargas kid, he hasn't improved in any of his fights. Every fight I see is the same shit with that guy. He's boring. He's not very good. He's
Boring?
eating cans. That guy, dude. Trust me when I say this. That guy's ready to get knocked out by somebody. That kid has no defense.
Well,
He
you know
did-
what? That maybe.
He's
Yeah,
like
it
what,
would be
21,
good then.
22?
Yeah, he's a baby compared to in terms of he's not even he's
21,
barely
22, but
20.
he's been boxing forever. He should know better than this.
Well, that's why I said it used to be the Tom
It's
Brady.
a long time
had
to learn
these-
how to box.
Yeah, these prospects, they used to give him about 4 or 5 fights per year by the time they were 2021. Nowadays, they're not fighting that much, so there's not that much room to improve in the actual ring. But if they put him in there gradually, and I do really mean gradually step up the competition, he would learn how to, he would be tested and he would learn, oh, okay, I got to work on this or I got to roll with the shots more, whatever. But the fact that the way they're doing it now, 3 fights a year, eventually you're going to put him in there against a guy that he might not be ready for, and then that could be troublesome. But I don't know. I mean, look, he couldn't get the guy out of there. But then again, somebody else mentioned it on Sobers' Discourse, like, oh, whenever these dudes go the distance, it's like, man, what a masterpiece, 12 rounds, blah, blah. But this dude, I don't understand why it's always the expectation on some fighters to stop.
Look, BDA, he's boring, he's slow, he has no defense. What I saw was he won every round, he tagged up his opponent, he
He's
fucking
supposed to win
masterclass,
every
bro.
round.
Like, what else do you want?
He's supposed to
what
win
else do
every
you want?
round. That's
Just
against
because
the
he didn't
can.
knock him out, he looked bad.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't,
he's-
bro, I
he's-
mean,
it's
if
like-
he was an African American
Was he
fighter,
hurt? Was he hurt at any point? Did he lose any
He's
rounds?
supposed to knock him out.
No,
This is a
no.
can crush.
yeah, but even
Who told you he's
African,
supposed to knock him out?
yeah, exactly.
Who told
This
you
is yeah, he's supposed to dominate
You're
because
supposed to knock out someone.
You're
that
saying that.
no.
You're saying that.
Let's
You're
let
saying
me
that.
say this.
Everybody hyped this kid up like he was the next
Let me
big
say
thing, and he
this.
kinda looked
Let me
like shit.
talk.
Well, maybe you shouldn't listen to everybody.
Jesus
you should watch
Christ.
the fucking fights.
When you have an African American boxer, he's supposed to just win a decision, right? A lot of times, unless he's a knockout. A lot of these guys, oh, he won a decision. He dominated. Look at that. He won every round. But, I mean, I guess with Vargas, I think he needs to knock these guys out because he's been knocking other people out. So now the expectations are, well, you got to knock everybody out until you face elite opposition. But in my opinion, this guy was tough. I mean, he got dropped. Then I thought it was going to be over, but that guy showed that he was very durable. And he managed to go to the distance. Montreal had his record is 19-3 now. So he had like 22 fights.
So he was 19-2.
21 fights, sorry, I couldn't even count. So,
That's not bad, bro.
I mean, yeah.
Well,
That
I
doesn't
could-
sound like a fucking.
I mean, did he get
nobody
hit?
journeyman club to me.
Did I like how sometimes Vargas was getting tagged? No, I didn't like that, but still at the same time, he was never in danger. And we've seen Golovkin, for example. Remember, he was getting tagged by Willie Monroe and all these other guys. But like the guy was in complete control. Nobody was after the fight. Nobody talked about, oh, he was getting tagged. I didn't like that. When eventually Golovkin fought, like for example, David Lemieux, he wasn't getting tagged like that. So sometimes,
Exactly. Yeah. It's also
yeah,
No, and no, look, this is the example you're looking for. When Triple G fought Danny Jacobs and the guy just happened to make it 12 rounds, people were literally saying that he should have won the fight. It's like you don't get credit just
Danny
to win
Jacobs
12
did a good
rounds,
job
bro.
in that fight.
Yeah, but he didn't win the fight. He lost it clearly.
Yeah, no, he didn't win that, but he did a good job.
There was people
kept
no,
saying
he
that
didn't do. I
he
mean,
should
no,
have won.
you know what? He did
That's
a
the
good
point.
job. The expectations were he was gonna get knocked out, so he did better than expected. So that was a good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, so he
but he
should've
lost the
won,
fight. I
you
mean,
know
get
what
the
I'm
hell out of here. People are telling it was a robbery, and you gotta be out of your mind. It was a domination.
Well,
by
I remember there have been fights where a guy, like if you took a look at Primal Spence, he would drop a bunch of guys, brutalize them, and then you would look at his record and you go, hey, there's one fight where he went 8 rounds against a guy who'd been stopped before, whatever. And you go, well, how come he went 8 rounds? And just based off of that, you could have said, nah, ain't no way he beats Kell Brook or Chris Algieri, because I mean, if he could
Why he knocked out Mikey Garcia?
No, but you understand my point. What I'm saying is though that sometimes there's a guy you can throw everything at him, and just for some reason you can't stop him. So what I'm saying is there are two things. One, the expectation that he has to stop everybody
Is that a style thing? Sometimes your
can I
style
just keep
matches up
saying,
against
let
someone.
me just say something, please. Let me just finish my point here. So I understand why people. I mean, the fact that he went the distance doesn't necessarily mean he's not a good fighter. But at the end of the day, I do agree that with Top Rank, they have to match him up against a guy a little bit more durable now. Because, okay, you've given him about, 15 fights now, where some of these good dudes are durable. And you've shown now that you can go the distance with them and you can keep throwing for over 6 rounds. But now it's got to be there against a guy who's going to throw back, but who's also got the world-class experience, or who at least has fought world-class guys. A classic journeyman or gatekeeper.
Yeah, and by the way, when you're chasing when you're chasing a stoppage, sometimes you're gonna get tagged coming in, because you're opening up, but you're trying to get that knockout. Something doesn't come, so yeah, you're gonna get touched up, But as long as you're not getting, you're not in danger or losing rounds, then I don't really pay attention to that shit. Like this other guy didn't come to win. And that just shows the difference between both fighters. One came to win. Now, when Vargas fights somebody that actually wants to come out and win, it's gonna be a different type of fight, because the opponent's gonna at least open up a little bit more, because he's gonna try and win the fight. This guy wasn't trying to win the fight.
Well, can I say, just to the distinction, the guy didn't want to get embarrassed by getting stopped. So the will was there. He just didn't have the infrastructure to punch back and land significant shots on Vargas. But like you said, if Vargas ever fights a guy who can roll with the shots or who can set traps, and all of a sudden makes it trickier for Vargas, I suspect then we'll see if Vargas can tighten up that defense. Because if he just continues the way he fought a couple of days ago, then the argument is, this dude is not improving. He's not tightening things up. He's staying at the same level. But that's why he needs those type of fights, because we're never going.
Is this a style thing though? You're describing like if a boxer is fighting someone and they come in just trying to defend themselves and fighting in a negative style, then it's hard to stop them, right?
Yeah, that can happen sometimes too.
That's what you're describing, because what Jacobs fought Golovkin in a very good style. He fought him at a range. He never let him get close, and when he did, he let the exchanges be 1-2 and then walk out. So it's about styles. Styles make fights.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So it remains to be seen if what's his name again, Vargas, is overrated, underrated. I don't know. These type of fights, all they showed us is that at least he's got a gas tank, and that it's going to take somebody.
I think that he's very dedicated,
Is Max Kellerman in the room?
I like that he's a very dedicated guy.
I've never heard that.
Yeah. No,
he doesn't even drink. Isn't that crazy?
But Vargas, just judging by knockouts, Berlanga had 16 knockouts right away, and we see what happened with that. So it's not really a fair judgment. Top rank
That's a good point.
There was a guy they were trying to build a Gabe Flores. I don't know if Vessel knows who that is, and I think El Head, Vargas is. No, but they were building him. He had won some decent fights.
They were trying to build him up, but he was
but I think Vargas is passes the eye test over that guy, and they were really trying to hype him up. So Top Rank really has a plan with their fighters. Look, they get guys shots with 15 fights. Teofimo, Keyshawn, and when Shakur was coming up, he had a lot of snoozers. That guy had three knockouts in 10 fights, but they hail him as a king. So to trash Vargas over 12 dominant rounds is not really a fair assessment.
I'm
You know
not
what,
even
Travis,
sure
one
with
thing-
this fight. I think just overall, he's been fighting a lot, and he looks very weak, and he looks very green still. I know he's 20 whatever, right? 21. But
But we'll see,
there's a
man.
lot of things that you can go piece by piece and be like, this guy's walking with his chin up half the time.
Well, I do think at 21, every year that passes is actually a little bit more significant than a guy who's 28, 29. Because I remember Ryan Garcia, people, Devin Haney once said before fighting Ryan Garcia, he goes, "Oh, this dude, he hasn't improved since the amateurs." And I'm thinking that's how you knew they cherry picked the guy, because they really thought that. I'm thinking, how can you look at Ryan Garcia and not see that he did improve? I mean, just forget the amateurs. When he fought Carlos, what was his name again? Carlos something on Facebook, incidentally. It was one of those weird fights broadcast on Facebook Live. He struggled against that dude. He couldn't fight on the inside. He was clenching. It was a bad fight. By the time he's fighting Luke Campbell, this guy's controlling the range better. He's feinting more, and he's putting pressure. He learned how to cut the ring off more or less, or at least better than he used to before. And I said, there you go. That's an improvement. So, and that was when that's took place between 20 and 25. So we'll see what happens with Vargas. Yeah, right now, of course, he's going to be a little bit more green because he doesn't have. By the way. What was I going to say? Yeah, so let's wait and see what happens with him. But I also want to touch on another thing, because I know we were talking about knockouts earlier, and people could say, well, wait a minute, why you guys were saying that the knockout's important, now you're saying that it's not important. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is the way you fight is what's important. You got to give people a certain form of entertainment. In other words, look at Shakur Stevenson. He didn't get a knockout, but you had people licking his ass up and down because he just simply...
Shakur's so fucking boring. I hate that guy.
I know, but what I'm saying is, at this point, the reason why I didn't mind necessarily Vargas not being able to get the stoppage is because he tried to get the stoppage. He didn't just say, true. You know what, I'm not going to stop this guy. I'm going to run around the ring and just to the box. No, he did his darnest. He kept torturing the guy to the body. He threw everything he had at him and he couldn't get down. So if there's any criticism, it might be his punching power, but not for his lack of trying. That's for sure.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's cheaper to buy NyQuil than watch a Snooker fight.
Come on. What's going on here?
Lindolfo Delgado defeated Gabriel Goyas Valenzuela by split decision, 114, 113 on all cards.
No, he didn't. He lost that fight.
I think it was a
that was a
robbery.
weird fight.
That was a robbery.
That was a gift. Back-to-back gifts this guy has. He lost the fight before this, too.
What do you guys think?
Lindolfo was very lackluster. But that guy Golaz, he had a really ugly style. I mean, I don't think he was that good. Was he impressive, or was just Lindolfo that bad?
No, Lindolfo's that bad, man. This is a guy who looked great in the amateurs, Olympic pedigree, and just never really showed up when it comes to pros.
I mean, just for reference, I mean, let's look at what Goyas is. Stevie Sparks had a very close fight with Goyas. Subriel Matias broke him apart. So I know Matias, a lot of people have underrated Matias now. Partially because he was overrated before, so then the pendulum swings the other way. But you can see, if we're talking about world-class fighters, Delgado belongs in the top 10, but there's a reason why he's ranked in the lower top 10, because he's not the biggest puncher, he's not the fastest puncher, he doesn't really have that much of an athletic arsenal, and then even technique-wise, he's not the greatest either. So he's just a solid contender, but I don't think he's ever gonna get near the top 5.
Well, I think he's the number one challenger right now to
for which,
I forget who.
For Hitchison.
Okay.
For Hitchinson?
Yeah.
He just outboxed him.
Yeah, Hitchison stops this guy. This guy's dog shit.
Now, I don't know if you really lost that Rodriguez fight. I think that's the one you were mentioning, Vessel. The Elvis.
I thought he maybe a draw. I could see a draw, but man, this isn't awful, guys. What happened to him? He looked great in the Olympics.
It's a big leap, Olympics and professional ranks, or something happens to some of these dudes. And I think also maybe he might be a little bit too confused about what style he wants to implement. Because in the Rodriguez fight, he was cutting the ring off, he was pushing the guy back, but then he wouldn't throw. And you're thinking, it looks like that type of fight where he's saving himself for the last rounds. No, even in the last rounds, he wasn't really throwing that much. And he can crack. Didn't he drop Rodriguez in that fight?
Yeah, I don't know why he never puts anything into his punches. It just seems like he's afraid to throw really anything big.
Maybe he's been chin checked or chinned in the gym or something. Now he's just I don't know, something's off with the guy. He doesn't look
32 by the way. That's crazy.
He looks like the type of guy that chases too much poontang. That's what I think his problem is. He's a skirt chaser.
I could be a
You know,
problem.
and-
That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, you lose outside the ring just as much as inside the ring, and it
That's
just
true.
seems like his conditioning is poor.
Are
He
you
has
saying you
poor
lose a lot of your
conditioning.
essence if you're skirt chasing? Is that what you're trying to get at?
He's talking
Yeah,
about
being
secret
a warmonger
retention.
would definitely
Well,
punish
he's
you.
simultaneously revealing, Lindolfo's weakness and Virgil's greatest power.
Oh,
I'm
that's
saying?
true. That's true. He's the juxtaposition. Yeah, right. Virgil Ortiz, or like you call him, Virgin Ortiz, he saves himself like a Catholic schoolgirl, and that gives him a lot of power, a lot of prowess because of the frustration.
Have you not
like
seen Virgil's girl, dude? She's good looking.
well, that's he does.
They're
that to
waiting
keep
for
him-
marriage. You don't get it.
No, I think she's like an OnlyFans girls or something.
Ah, come on, what the fuck?
What a fucking
that's
sucker.
Yeah.
No, I'm not even joking, by the way.
hope
I think
not.
that's true.
I mean, listen, that he's gonna end up like Devin Haney. This girl's gonna be
Yeah.
out online dishing the laundry, dirty laundry, and it's
Nah, but Devin Haney's wife has been more abused than a fucking public toilet seat. So like,
Oh,
I can't
really?
get that.
It's not his wife. It's not his wife. They're not married.
I thought they got married over there overseas.
It was like a ceremonial thing in the. He was like probably married through
Nah,
Islam, but not
yeah.
legally. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, now he's suing her legally.
Well, what do they call it nowadays? It's partner, right? They don't say wife, husband. They go partner. Oh, that's my. I just moved in with my partner. It's like, what? Like your business partner or your like they're working in
some
the
gay
law
stuff.
To include the homo community.
Okay.
Let's talk about. Let's move on now and talk about the breaking news that happened today. Anthony Joshua will be facing what's his name? Jake Paul. The fight is scheduled for December 19th in Miami and will be streamed live globally on Netflix. Crucially, this has been confirmed as a sanctioned professional heavyweight bout, not an exhibition. The match is scheduled for 8 rounds under standard professional rules. What people are saying here as well. A central point of discussion is a significant size difference between these two fighters. Analysis reveals that Anthony Joshua will have a considerable physical advantage, obviously. Joshua consistently weighs in around 252 pounds, while Jake Paul's only heavyweight bout saw him at 227. That was against Mike Tyson. Joshua is 6'6", while Jake Paul is 6'1". So, all right, guys, your thoughts on this. Is this for real or what's happening here?
Jake Paul by stoppage.
If it's for real, this guy's dead. Like, he's dead, man.
Wait, hold on though. But if this is for real, and Jake Paul actually wins, legit, by the way, does he finally get to be in the pound for pound?
Yes,
Come on, man.
it's gonna happen. He's gonna win. Trust me.
How? Hold on. All right. This is an interesting point because a lot of people are asking themselves, "Is this for real? Is it like Joshua gonna take a dive?" Mike Coppinger posted and post obviously on X, and it says, "Fuck, I hate this shit." All right, here we go. He said, last time addressing all the absurd comments. No, Anthony Joshua is not going to take it easy on Jake Paul. It would be very very hard to sell a Tyson Fury fight next year if you're taking the distance by essentially a boxing novice. This is a real heavyweight fight. AJ has all the money in the world and expect him to go for it like he did when he blasted out Francis Ngannou in 2 fucking rounds. All right. So that's a good point, though. If AJ is looking for a Fury fight, he's not going to take a dive. He's not going to go 12 rounds against 8 rounds against Jake Paul. He has to knock him out.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, listen, at this point, we can only speculate about what's going on because I saw a lot of people. Yeah, listen, that was my first reaction to it. This can't be a real fight. I mean, is he fucking nuts, Jake Paul? Something's going on. That's the first instinct that we get as boxing fans. Because again, we've been.
Bro, why do you always hate when a white boy gets motion?
Well, you know me, man. I gotta go. I gotta go against ICE and all that. No, I'm kidding. No, but listen. What I'm trying to say here is that that's the first instinct that comes to mind, or the first thought that comes to mind. It's like, hey, man, is this really going to be a legit fight or whatever? I don't know. What's interesting to me is why this fight is even taking place, or exhibition, whatever you want to call it, because again, I got to reiterate, the Tank Davis-Jake Paul fight was doing horrible. It wasn't selling as they were expecting. And I think that I was talking with Butcho about this before the show, and I think maybe Netflix sort of woke up and said, hey, this is actually good for us because now we get to dictate what happens. Because in other words, Jake Paul's whole what he brings to the table is I'm notorious. People know who I am. I got a whole fan base of people that follow me. I'm mainstream compared to some of these boxers. And so these dudes probably thought, hey, Tank Davis is one of the most famous boxers. So him versus Tank Davis, Jake Paul has to do well. And then when he didn't, they said, hey, you know what? This guy's bargaining power is lessened now because he got exposed. So maybe they forced this onto him because another guy that talked about that was Coppinger. He said that they offered him 3 names, Netflix. And that's all. Those are the only names that they were going to go with. It was Ryan Garcia, Joshua, and I forget the other one. Nate Diaz, a rematch, that wasn't going to cut it. Fucking Masvidal, people have forgotten about him. This ain't 2018 anymore or 2019, whatever that flying knee was. So, yeah, man, I think that he had to do something extreme. And what this shows me is if indeed this is a real fight, it's that perhaps Jake Paul is finally saying, you know what? I guess I can't I've stretched this whole boxing thing for as much as I can. I can't keep fighting the Masvidals and the Nate Diaz's.
Why not fight a cruiserweight then, a ranked cruiserweight?
I thought he was going to fight Ramirez, to be honest.
But that's the thing, like Butcher, you said that too. You said if he fights Ramirez, people are gonna go who? Even if they advertise it as a legit world championship fight, he's finally fighting a legit top 10 guy. Like, people, a lot of his fans will go, who's the Mexican?
Wait. Can we rewind?
Corner? Did he put himself in a corner now where he's like, okay, there's no more options?
I think so. I think that Davis thing falling apart sort of maybe expose his business prowess a little bit or his lack thereof of a star appeal.
It's dying.
Can we rewind a few minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, so if supposedly Gervonta Stank Davis is the face of boxing, then why isn't it selling?
Exactly.
That's what I said. That was my point. That was the point, which is I think Netflix sort of realized that this whole thing went sideways for Jake Paul because now Netflix realized, hey, what he brings to the table for negotiating purposes is that he's the star. But now, like you said, Amak, they realize even with a guy like Tank Davis, and I think also I think we overestimated the fact that even casuals were going to look at it and they go, hey, the size difference is too much. And they can't fucking present Tank Davis as this virtuoso guy like a Mayweather or something because I think even a lot of people know that that's not him. What he's known for is the power, not the boxing skills per se. So,
also, I
have a counter argument for that. The Saul versus the Smith, that was a big size difference. How much did that do?
But that was a height difference. Yeah.
No, I don't know. It kind of looked like a size difference as well. It kind of looked like.
I don't like where you're going with the whole size difference. It sounds like you're trying to take it. I mean, you were talking about flashlights earlier, and now I don't know where you're going with this. I can see it coming from a mile away. That's for sure.
Do you feel inadequate, BDA?
I feel completely inadequate and maybe a little curious too. But listen, the point is this. So but I'm curious to hear what you guys think. You think it's going to be a real fight then?
That's what they're saying. It has to be. I mean, it's insane though. How does he even get sanctioned? The former heavyweight champion versus a novice. How does that even happen? At least with Stank Davis and Jake. I mean, Stank is a pound for pound fighter. I guess he could protect himself. And if Jake gets hurt, he's a big guy. But this is insane.
Frank, you forgot that Conor McGregor and Mayweather was sanctioned. McGregor had no professional fights previous to that.
Yeah, but one guy wasn't really gonna get almost expired, unalived. Jake could get unalived. Fights. I mean, no, Jake could literally get unalived. I mean, this guy's a former heavyweight champion.
Yeah,
we're not talking about a cruiserweight. We're talking about
draining himself. Wasn't McGregor? I mean, McGregor was the bigger guy, but he had to drain himself to fight Floyd. When it comes to AJ, I mean, AJ is just a fucking monster. He's bigger.
Well, there's a rehydration clause. What I seen, I guess he can't be over 245.
Yeah,
and I think Jake posted he's getting $250,000. What is it? $250 million.
That's what he posted. 256 million.
I don't believe it, but I mean, who knows, right? Like, but this is insane. I've never seen anything like this because even with Ngannou, I mean. They were saying if Ngannou wins, UFC's better. So imagine if Jake Paul pulls a miracle.
How?
That's why it's called a miracle. There's miracles. Miracles do happen.
You guys got to give him the pound for pound list now. If he wins,
doesn't make any sense.
Jake Paul's gonna win.
No,
Jake Paul's gonna win.
If he wins, where would you guys put him? Top 5, top 10?
Number 3.
I mean,
right behind Wardley.
Yeah,
seriously. Let's seriously.
I don't think you're serious. I don't think you're
No,
safe.
well, I mean, Gervonta Davis is in the pound for pound. He don't deserve to be there.
You think Ring Magazine would actually do it?
It's a popularity contest. It's a blatant popularity contest.
You have a good point. Fuck, I don't think so, man. Because AJ is not a champion anymore anyway. So it's not like, this guy, Jake Paul's challenging for a world title. He's just fighting some guy who's coming off a knockout loss to Daniel Dubois.
Hey, by the way, sorry, I don't want to pocket watch too much here, but another source it was a British newspaper publication. They'd say that they were going to be, both fighters are going to net about 70 million pounds. All right, 70 million
nice.
pounds. So that's about
Good for them.
$91 million US dollars
For AJ?
for both guys, I think.
Okay.
Nice.
So I don't know why this guy, fucking Jake Paul, posted that shit about you guys
Wow.
keep asking.
He's probably, Probably tells his girlfriend too, like, no, it's over 6 inches. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's that type of guy. But in terms of the actual fight, yeah. So you guys think that you're because I want to get the first instinct, your gut instinct. When you heard this news, did you think, oh yeah, it's gonna be a legit fight?
I think it's
No.
a rigged fight, and Jake Paul paid him to win.
Look, no matter what happens, I mean, we live in such a cynical world. Nobody's gonna believe anything.
That's
Yeah.
true.
No matter the outcome, nobody's gonna believe. If you're AJ,
No,
and Paul-
that's not true. If I see Jake Paul get lynched by Anthony Joshua, I was like, yeah, this was a real fight.
I don't know,
Because-
because you see, here's the thing though. AJ can't lose to Jake Paul because if he wants that Fury
No.
fight.
No, but I'm saying if Jake Paul is the one that gets lynched by Anthony Joshua,
Well,
we
then
will all say, oh yeah, that was a real fight, right?
well,
Am I
but
wrong, or-
not.
Yeah,
Well, you're
yeah.
kind of wrong because let's say he gets light tap like when Deontay Wilder fought. Who's that guy that went down on a ghost punch?
Hellenius.
Alex Scott.
Hellenius.
Malik Scott.
Former, yeah. So how do we
Yeah,
know something like
Hellenius.
we've seen Oscar go down? We've seen plenty of instances
Oh.
where it's like, okay, come on, man, you didn't even get touched and you went down. Jake Paul could go down like that. Like I'm not gonna get killed in here. I'm gonna earn $250 million and be happy. So nobody's gonna believe anything that happens.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's. I mean, that's how most people are. I mean, I certainly am that way. Look at something, and go, well, I could see that it might have been fake, but I mean, I need more. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I mean, listen, let's talk about the fight itself. Jake Paul. I remember before the Usyk Joshua fight, a lot of people were saying, well, if Usyk got hurt by Gassiev or he struggled with Brady's, then how's he going to beat Joshua? But they weren't understanding that Usyk was going to fight Joshua a different way than when he fought those guys. But that's an Olympic gold medal winner who had already had a couple of championships by the time he fought Joe. I mean, he was already undisputed cruiserweight by the time he fought Joshua. In Jake Paul, we got a guy who just picked up boxing as recently as 5 years ago. He's not exactly the world-class boxer. He doesn't have those skills. He's not as fast. He doesn't exactly, he doesn't have a speed advantage. He doesn't have a power advantage. He's 6 inches shorter than Joshua. And I think because of the fact that Usyk came onto the heavyweight scene and was able to beat these bigger guys, it's giving a lot of fans the impression that, oh yeah, it's easy to do this. It's not easy to beat a guy who's got 6 inches of height on you and 5 inches in reach advantage. It can be very
So
intimidating
you're
for a lot
saying
of people.
size matters?
Of course it does. Come on, man. I was in the industry, and the other thing is this.
So I've been lied to the whole time.
Of course, that's what happens. But that the Jake Paul, I think, and I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. I think he might be terrorized when he finally gets in that ring. When he feels that first punch whooshing by him, I think he's going to say, you know what,
this fight can't be real, man. By the way, Edgar Moreno, 86, thank you for your super chat. He says, I hope Jake Paul gets put in a coma and becomes a vegetable, but it won't happen. It's a money grab. All elite fighters are at the end.
What kind of vegetable?
It's a money grab. Elite fighters are all at the end of the day and need the money. Yeah, exactly. It's all about the money.
I mean, well, Shada, thank you for the super chat. I don't quite agree with. I mean, I like seeing people getting like that, but turning to
A lot of people hate him though, so I can
Well,
understand Edgar, man.
the real money is going to be made on the over/under, right? Because you got to think, Jake Paul wins if he goes 3 rounds. Like he wins because there's no way he should last more than 2 rounds. But I mean, let's give him a little leeway. But 3 rounds, he wins if he goes 3 rounds. So
Can you see a
that's
scenario?
where
Can
the
you
real
see a
money's gonna be
scenario where Jake Paul goes 3 rounds? Somehow he bets on himself, and then in between rounds 3 and 4, he's like, my ankle hurts, or I twisted my ankle, some shit.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Anything. Yeah, that's why this is such a great sport to bet on, because anything could happen.
I mean, yeah, you're right. And yeah, you can make a lot of money. You can also lose a lot of money.
Yeah, why did you guys take the fact that Anthony Joshua sold his booty to Jake Paul?
Well, that's what other people are saying. Other people are saying that he sold his soul.
Is that Gypsy?
That's
Yes,
the
it
one
is.
and only.
Gypsy, you're.
I mean, look,
I mean,
I was just
wouldn't you
thinking,
take the
do you
money
guys remember-
if you're AJ? You guys take the fight, right? I mean, fuck yeah, I'll fight this guy for.
Well, you know
70
why?
million.
But you know why I'm okay with it, or I'm not super upset, whatever. It's because Joshua's already done it all. He fought Usyk twice. He fought Ruiz twice. The only guy he never fought, he fought Dubois. No, excuse me, he didn't fight Dubois twice, but he fought Dubois. Joseph Parker. I mean, just we can go through the list. He's 36 years old now. I think he's earned the right to go into this type of circus fight.
But he did.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what you're in the sport
that's
for.
fair.
That's
Here's
what they're in here
another
for.
question. I'm chewing ginger. Sorry. Here's
No,
another
but-
question.
Yeah, but that's a second circus fight, to be honest.
Yeah,
Because the Francis fight,
yeah.
yeah, he lynched him. Remember?
Yeah, but okay. First of all, you guys stop using that word. But second of all, at least he legitimized himself by Ngannou did by giving Fury hell. Prior to that,
Yeah, there was some more. I mean, this is a circus fight level 5, which is the maximum level I give a circus fight. This is ridiculous. This is worse than that Tank Davis fight. At least the other one was an exhibition. This is supposed to be a real professional fight. 10-ounce gloves. 8 rounds, 3-minute rounds. I don't understand. I don't know what to say. Like, is this for real or not? If it's for real, then Jake Paul's getting knocked the fuck out. I think he has an exit strategy. I think he's gonna in between rounds say, "Oh, my leg hurts," whatever. But he has to do that quickly because, I'd be surprised this guy goes 3 rounds.
Well,
Well,
look, I mean, who's to say? BDA, let me just say this. I mean, how did we? AJ takes a wing shot and Paul flies out the ring like Kermit Citron did. And then they say, "Oh, he can't go back in. He hurt his ankle." Something like that's gonna happen.
Or recently Whitaker did that to
Stop it,
Liam
man.
Cameron.
Trust
Remember
me.
that? He dragged him with him, like, "You're coming with me," and then he's like, "Oh, I can't continue." But by the way, hey, the MOC thing, the fact that I told you, hey, maybe you should stop using that word. I mean, technically, lynchings aren't reserved solely for anybody can get lynched, but it's just nowadays, how it's with the connotation.
It's
just
tomato.
You
No,
lynch a cow. You lynch fucking animals and shit. Not fucking people. I mean,
No, you skin.
Well, I mean, it's just a figure of speech. I mean, it's kind of like when Kung Fu TV says anal destruction. You know what I mean?
I mean, if you're going by Food TV's vocabulary, I mean, he's the guy that came up with, Trevor McCombie. He calls him the cum. And he goes, "Oh, everybody calls him that." Like, who's everybody?
I was calling him that too. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, 2 people. But
Yeah, yeah.
Hey
I think
guys,
Max heard the deduction.
can there be a way that this fight ends where both guys are not legacy, legacy? Both guys' careers are kept
intact?
going intact. Yes.
What if it's a draw?
what
That doesn't.
Jake-
See, a draw would hurt Anthony Joshua, right? I imagine he goes into a Fury fight. Oh yeah, he's just coming off a draw against Jake Paul. Like, that guy's they're gonna see this guy's shot.
What if Jake Paul butt breaks Anthony Joshua?
Why is there? This
Well,
Is he-
no, I'm-
wait, is he with Jesse?
I'm asking about a situation where both guys,
Breaking is like a
their
racial
careers remain
thing.
intact.
No, it's not. It's just butt breaking. Anybody can be butt
No,
broken.
that's true.
no,
That's purely reserved for racial things.
Okay, but to answer your question,
Yeah, answer the question.
To answer your question, I think because you're right, because they gotta weigh this thing very carefully. If Joshua carries Paul, it looks bad on him, and he's 36, so he still has a career to look forward to. I mean, Eddie Hearn's been talking about the potential Tyson Fury fight. That ain't
A lot
gonna
of
sell
money.
well if this guy struggles. Yeah, that's a lot of money. As for Jake Paul, pretty sure he doesn't want to get killed in there. So they're probably like you guys were saying, they're gonna work something out where Joshua's not gonna punch him at will every other second. He's going to carry him a little bit. And then, like you guys were saying, Jake Paul's going to probably find a way out. Oh, my ankle or maybe he's even going to build up to that story before the fight. there's gonna be rumors that his shoulder's injured or that he cracked a knuckle or sparring so hard because he hit so hard, blah blah blah. And I think that, but it is a risk. This fight, despite the money, you're right, Bucho. It's a risk because anything can go. Any one of these guys can walk out of there with the reputation bad.
Unless it's
I got a question.
Yeah, but can I just say this? Rafael in the chat, he says it's going to be scripted. It could be scripted in a way like you said. So this could happen. There's a lot of grappling. Jake Paul's running around the ring, but Josh has been told don't knock him out. Just keep him alive for 4 rounds, and then after round 4, Jake Paul's gonna say my ankle hurts or something, and then he's gonna quit, and it's a win for both guys in a way,
Yeah, contract says that Anthony Joshua's gonna bite his glove a lot of times, so we expect a lot of biting.
Oh yeah, like Mike
situation.
Tyson.
Yeah, up until the point he gets butt broken.
Yeah, but again, that's the thing with Netflix, man. That's what interests me about this fight, that they told Jake Paul, listen, this fight with Tank wasn't selling all that well, huh? And he's supposed to be, Tank, as far as the boxers go, Tank Davis is supposed to be a little bit more famous than some of these other guys. You couldn't sell with this guy, so now listen, guess what? You got to fight somebody that people, and that's the thing, when people kept saying about Mayweather, Mayweather, the reason why he was so famous because people wanted to see him lose. I never saw that. I never saw anybody go, you know what, I hate this guy. Hopefully Robert Guerrero knocks him out. Nobody thought that. This is the fight where this applies now. People who dislike Jake Paul are gonna pay to see Joshua knock his head off, and maybe it's on the Zone pay-per-view, right? That's what it is. It's not Netflix. No, hold on, it's Netflix.
No, Netflix. Right.
But I think the Zone allowed Joshua to go over there.
I equally hate both of them, so it's not gonna make a difference for me.
I thought you were a Jake Paul fan. What's going on?
No, I'm not a Jake Paul fan, bro. I said I'm happy, but then when I found out what he did to how fake his fights have gotten, at some point it was kind of realistic.
I remember Gypsy King saying that Jake Paul's his favorite boxer now that Tyson Fury lost.
Yeah, I do have a poster somewhere up there, but I got rid of it. I burned it down, bro. I took it outside, put it in garbage, and fucking burned it.
I understand why you might not like AJ, but to the point where you don't you wouldn't care who wins. I mean, I don't know. I still want Joshua to knock this guy out.
I mean, yeah, you would for boxing's sake. For boxing's sake, you would want this dude to just get destroyed by Anthony Joshua, but I really don't give a shit at this point because, I mean, Fury did it with Francis, and he bullshitted around. We all know he could have stopped him. And he did it for AJ. And now AJ is just selling himself out for Jake. It's even worse. At least Francis is a MMA heavyweight champion at one point, a former.
But what do you mean selling himself out? I don't understand.
Wait, what do you mean Fury would have stopped him? What do you mean? When he got dropped, his eyes opened up like a fucking bee.
Yeah, he got hurt. That was real, man.
That shit, if you want to fall for shit like that, I mean, go off by all means.
Your boy got a gift decision against an MMA fighter. Let's be real here,
I mean,
man.
come on, man. Like, he had him, gassing for shit in the 4th round, and he just let him fucking breathe.
I don't know, man. Your boy got dropped and looked like a deer staring at the headlights.
Yeah, I guess you want to fall for that shit. I mean, they wanted to set his ass up for that.
That shit was real. He got dropped for real. What do you mean?
The first round knockout against.
I know you want to erase that memory of you, but
Francis getting knocked out in first round.
Francis
I guess
beat your boy.
Okay, yeah, he did. Good for you. I'm proud of you. Anyways, but the thing is,
I don't know why you're proud of me. I didn't win that fight.
I'm proud of all.
I wasn't even in the fight. Matter of fact, I wasn't even in the fucking crowd.
I mean, you were present somehow watching it, right? So proud of you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
yeah, thank you.
If you believe that shit is real, then I feel for you because it wasn't. Because the next time around when the fight came out with AJ, he said, "Oh, he's gonna knock him out in the first round." How the fuck do you know he's gonna knock him out?
Fury slipped on a banana peel. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, but no, he did it intentionally so AJ's fight would sell between him and AJ, and it fucked over because fucking he got knocked out in 5 rounds.
Yo, what the fuck, man?
That's why he was like, "Oh my fucking god, I just sold my ass for nothing," because he got knocked out by Daniel Dubois in 5 fucking rounds. That's why he lost 150 million. He's like, "I lost 150 million because it's not even worth fighting him anymore." That's what it was. That's what happened. We all know that to be the case. I mean, come on, man. It's ridiculous.
All right. That's enough of you. Well, what else can we talk about here about this shit fight? I still think there's some shenanigans going on.
Well, the media is saying that it's real. They're all saying Anthony Joshua isn't going to play around. You know, the main boxing journalists are saying that it's real. Anthony Joshua is not playing around, and they're giving Jake props for taking on the challenge. So they're really putting a lot of effort to make us believe it's real.
Because I was gonna bring this that Mike Coppinger tweet that I posted earlier, where he's like, last time addressing all the absurd comments. No, Anthony Joshua is not going to take it easy on Jake Paul. Why is he so like? He sounds like he's angry. Like he's so determined to defend this fight. I mean, was he
sounds
told?
like he cried while writing this.
Well, did they pay him to say this? Obviously, right? That this is the part of the campaign, right? Make people believe it's real. So they're gonna pay this.
You're
like
stupid if you think it's fake, right? You're just dumb if you think it's fake. You don't know shit about boxing. Yeah. Dan Raphael just said, I'm hearing all these questions and everybody I know inside the camp, they saying it's real. You guys don't know shit. So
why did he not fight Wilder, huh? Chicken shit, motherfucker.
That would have made a little bit more sense.
Yeah, I mean, you got already butt broke. He has been butt broke for a long time, Wilder. So like, butt broke fucking event. Let's do this. It's fucking awesome. We'll see which one's gonna be even more. It would have been way better than this fucking, Disney boy. Come on.
Yeah.
What if Jake Paul knocks him out?
Well, I mean, yeah, that would have made sense, but I mean, it's not happening. It's AJ for some reason. Buddy Love in the chat says Coppinger is paid off. I mean, I would think so. Well, this fight's real, okay? I'm telling you, it's real, okay? Stop it. Stop saying it's fake.
Yeah, that basically makes it sound real, right? So.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would a boxing pundit try to convince everybody it's a real fight?
Why does he care? Like, is he involved in the fight? I guess he is now, right?
Is he somebody's is he in the negotiation table? Like, what's he have to do with this?
No, but is he getting paid? Is he getting money?
Yeah, he's got to get money to
private up a whole paragraph,
Right.
One, if it was fake, why would it? And two, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Make a PowerPoint, bitch.
You know, Dan Rayfield said that he said that about experts are telling me that inside sources and experts are telling me that, and then Lutivella said, you needed experts to tell you that. Like he was getting angry. Yeah, it's true. Like you need experts to tell. But again, listen, we've seen crazier things happen. But Jake Paul is a guy who was getting chased out of the ring by Julio Cesar Chavez in the last 2 rounds. I mean, come on, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. never was, coked out, inactive, had lost to a 40-year-old Anderson Silva. And that dude's putting hands on Jake Paul in the last 2 rounds. So imagine I don't see it. Or maybe that's the whole point, right? Or maybe like Gypsy's saying, maybe Joshua sold his booty and they're paying him extra, double that, under the side. I don't know. It's weird.
I don't think any of his fights have been real. So.
Let's go through. Yeah, go ahead, Amok.
You don't think that Anderson Silva fight was real?
Well, see, that's the thing. Round one, he's saying that Jake Paul couldn't KO 48-year-old Anderson Silva. He ain't gonna KO AJ. Yeah, that's true. Also, when Chavez Jr. didn't do shit, but at the end, Chavez Jr. was coming on, putting on the pressure, and he was beating Jake Paul at the end. I know it was like 1 or 2 rounds. It wasn't enough, obviously, but that was a fat ass. Well, he wasn't fat, but he was washed up. A washed up Chavez Jr. AJ still. I mean, it's not like AJ has been inactive for 3 years. He was getting fat. This guy fought this year, right? Against Dubois. Was it this year? I think he was. So I don't understand. If this is a real fight, Jake Paul's gonna get knocked the fuck out.
He should. But what does that say about AJ?
Well,
if he can't get this guy out of here.
You think so?
Well,
back in the day, Fury said about AJ that he said he's more of a businessman than a boxer. I mean, you have to be both in the sport of boxing, but he said he is primarily more business than anything else. And this actually proves it, that he is more business than boxing.
All right. So here's the question then. Is AJ's legacy tainted just by taking this fight?
I mean, if he doesn't go in there and fucking wreck him, then yeah, it's 100% tainted. I mean, what is he doing? Unless he's like joking around and it's a joke fight, then we're not gonna take it serious and we're not gonna say anything about it. But if he goes in there and lets fucking Jake just tee off on him and fuck his world up, then 100% it's tainted.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said something though. I mean, shit. What is he supposed to do? Not take the fight? Be like, this is a joke. I'm not gonna fight this guy. He can go fight a lesser contender.
I mean, he's getting paid $70-something million. And at this point, people have said that AJ should retire, right? After that Dubois stoppage, a lot of people were saying he should retire. The only reason why he's still, I mean, in the people are talking about him is because there was a potential Fury fight, and that's a fight that should have taken place a long time ago. So, it's like
he can still make money though. Yeah, he might not be the best now, but that's okay. But like, What's wrong with fighting to be number 2? What's wrong with making that extra money?
No, I agree. I mean, yeah, if he wants to stay around and fight Fury, I was always in favor of that. I'm like, sure, get that Fury fight in the UK. He's gonna sell out. I'm gonna watch it. But now he's fighting Jake Paul, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like, if he doesn't knock out Jake Paul, then are you gonna really be interested in AJ versus Fury?
Yeah, because though they,
Oh, come on, man.
Paul probably but Paul probably paid. Don't knock me out, man. You know what I mean? Whatever you do, you can beat my ass. Just don't knock me out.
He does not want Fury, man. I've been telling you guys for a long time. He didn't want Wilder. I mean, Wilder's right there for the picking. Just take him, man. Just finish him off. He doesn't want him either. This guy's got like some fear factor amongst these two guys. He does have a fear factor. Even at their worst conditions, he still probably won't fight these guys. He's got fear over him. But I'm telling you, I've been saying that. A video off of this shit that he was never gonna fight these two. It's funny how Fury fought Wilder and Usyk, and he wants a third one. By the way, he's fucking desperate for a third fight with Usyk.
Who said that?
He's terrified.
Is he?
Yeah, Fury's he won't fight anyone except for Usyk. That's it. He wants him. Apparently, he was terrified. Right? You're scared shitless of him. Come on, man. He was not terrified at all. He just wanted shit under his conditions, and he somewhat got it, but not exactly.
Oh, man, AJ lynched Francis, and your boy went life and death with Francis. In fact, he got a good decision.
I mean, yeah, you can say that.
I don't buy it.
He walked out on a beautiful woman or a pretty woman, right? Remember that shit? I mean, it was already. You should guys fucking figure out what.
All right, Amok. Going back to this, the Jake Paul thing. Amok mentioned that maybe a win for what's this guy Jake Paul is to go like the god like Rocky. You know what I mean? Like Rocky won, he's all busted up and shit, but he didn't. I mean, he lost, but he did better than expected. Maybe AJ would AJ be in favor of playing that role in this narrative? Like where he just kind of beats him up a little bit, bosses his nose. Yeah. What do you guys think? Is that
forget, huh? Must want them to be back up, huh?
You. I think somebody's muted. But yeah, you guys think that's possible? AJ just beats him up but doesn't kill him, allows him to go to 8 rounds, and then Jake Paul looks like a hero. He's like, I went 8 rounds against a real heavyweight.
Like Jermell Charlo, remember?
Jermell Charlo against Canelo?
When he fought, yes.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody was praising Charlo after that fight. I think people complained that he ran or he didn't want to fight.
I see why Recognize Francis is not here, because he's a big AJ fan and he doesn't like what's going on. I feel for him.
All right. Well, guys, listen, I think we're going to end this short show because we should have a show tomorrow where we're going to be talking about the Ring 4, that card that's coming up in this Saturday. The Ring 4 card with Benavides. We have Bam there. Who else is there? Haney, and Norman Jr., and Abdullah Mason. So, yeah, we're going to end this show. It's going to be a quick show, but we'll see you tomorrow. All right, guys?
Butcher, before you fucking leave, is Arthur Beterbiev going to fight Nicholson, or is it completely off? Because I see in Google that it's still there.
I'm not sure. I haven't checked. And in the chat, until it says, why has Beterbiev pulled out again? I guess he did pull out. I mean, I don't know, I have to check, but this is what people are saying in the chat. They probably know more than me. So, I don't know. I think Beterbiev is almost at the end of the road here. He's breaking apart.
He's waiting for
Falling
the
apart.
one big fight. He's waiting for that one big fight, and that's it. I think Benavidez is that one because chicken shit Bivol will never take it. So he's waiting for Benavidez. That's who he's waiting for. He's gonna put it all on the line with Benavidez.
Yeah, that's a good way to go out. And it's a good payday, I would assume. All right. Well, hey, guys, I'll see you next time. All right. Take care. Thank you for being on the show. All right, everybody on YouTube, yes, quick show. We just covered what happened last Saturday. Also, we covered the breaking news, Jake Paul versus AJ. And tomorrow, 90% we do it tomorrow. I don't like to... we're going to have to do a show anyways because we have the Ring 4 card coming up this Saturday. So we're going to have a show. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully it's tomorrow. And open lines on Friday. And we'll see you next time, all right, guys? Take care.